Hello and welcome to BOI Weekly. I'm Kayode Alayode. In 2017, the Bank of Industry commenced granting loans to micro entrepreneurs, and that's aimed at boosting the economy and create jobs. These loans were disbursed through 14 microfinance banks with branches nationwide. Now, micro entrepreneurs who were targeted for these loans included fashion designers, furniture makers, shoemakers, bakers, and the list is endless. With the disbursement of these loans, several entrepreneurs have taken their businesses to the next level as they continue to access funds from the Bank of Industry. On this week's edition of the program, we continue our focus on the amazing successes of the Bank of Industry as the bank matches words with action in providing the enabling environment for Nigerian youths to become successful entrepreneurs. Welcome to the program. Worried about the devastating effects of COVID-19 on micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria, the federal government, in partnership with the World Bank and through the Bank of Industry, is implementing the NG Cares project to help businesses recover fast. The NG Cares program is a $750 million state-owned initiative specifically meant for the elevation of communities, households, and businesses affected by COVID-19. It seeks to protect the livelihoods of poor and vulnerable households and support the recovery of local economic activity, especially amongst micro, small, and medium enterprises. Also, sit back as we bring you the report of the $20 million Ebonyi State NG Cares signing of a memorandum of understanding with the Bank of Industry. As part of efforts by the federal government to boost micro, small and medium enterprises in the country, the Bank of Industry has signed a $20 million memorandum of understanding with the Ebonyi State government to implement the federal government's NG Cares program. At the signing ceremony, the General Manager, Northern Region of the Bank of Industry, Mr. Rizlanuddin Muhammad, says the program is aimed at supporting and protecting the livelihood of 41 million MSMEs across the country. The program, which is part of the initiative of the federal government and the World Bank, seeks to support the recovery effort of states over the next 24 months. Officials of the Ebonyi State government arrived at the regional headquarters of the Bank of Industry in Abuja to sign a memorandum of understanding aimed at promoting and sustaining viable businesses in the state. The General Manager, Northern Region, kickstarts the event as he speaks on the essence of the MoU.
The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Bank of Industry and the good people of the Ebonyi State. The bank truly appreciates Governor Daniel Omagi and his officials for taking the first major step in the implementation of the NG Cares program in Ebonyi State. And that is actually testified by the presence of a high-level delegation all the way from Ebonyi to Abuja. It is truly exciting to witness the onset of a partnership between the Bank of Industry and Ebonyi State, given the fact that the state has displayed passion about protecting its small businesses. We all know that supporting these small businesses is the bedrock of supporting any economy. There is the data from Small and Medium Enterprise Development, which clearly states that there are 41 million SMEs across this country. And supporting small businesses is indirectly supporting a larger family. Given our African culture, one man's business means support. If you support one person, you are impliedly supporting 5 or 10 more people.
The chairman, Federal Technical Committee of NG Cares, responds.
This program, in a partnership between the federal government and the World Bank and the states, and of course our good people of BOI, So we are here. This is the first one signing between the Ebonyi State government and BOI. It gladdens our hearts sincerely, and we know this is the beginning of great and mighty things that are going to happen to this country. Let me thank the Ebonyi people for taking the bull by the horn, for leading it. The same we did for Delta State. The managing director was there a couple of weeks ago, and this is another milestone we are setting again. What is the purpose generally? Is to reverse the trend, to change the narrative. Those affected by COVID, those thrown into poverty by COVID, by this move we're making now, things will change. And as we used to say among the NKS people, which Ebonyi is part of, and BOI is the anchor for this component, we say we want to kick poverty out of this country.
The Ebonyi State government, on its part, reaffirms its commitment to monitor all aspects of the program through efficient internal mechanisms.
We would want to appreciate the BOI team. The BOI team has been at the center of it with Ebonyi State and the other states, and it's been actually a very strenuous one, but we believe too that for us to achieve the kind of program and outcome that we want to achieve with this program, it's what it's going the strenuous ways. And of course, today we are here to sign the MoU between the Bank of Industry and the government of Ebonyi State on implementing the result area 3 of the NGKS program. I wouldn't want to bore us with the journey so far, but I really appreciate again the BOI team and of course the World Bank that has created this concept. Above all, my government, the government of Ebonyi State, have been so interested in implementing this program. And when it came to be that BOI will be partnering with states to implement this program, our governor particularly was elated and is quite interested in the outcome of this program. And we appreciate the governor for his forthrightness, and of course he has been quite supportive, to make sure that this program comes to pass. For the implementation, I would want to say that we're expecting quite a lot from BOI, being that BOI has come a long way with implementing programs like this. I would be asking that BOI surpass their own record, the record which we know of the JEEP program and some other programs of late that you have implemented and that has given you very good name in the public.
This signals the takeoff of the implementation of the result area 3 component of the NGKS program in Ebonyi State. In the World Bank NGKS program, Ebonyi State is partnering with Bank of Industry to implement the MSME component. So what we've just done is to, put pen and paper on the ground to hit the ground running. I would believe that from now on, we expect BOI full presence in Ebonyi State. We expect Ebonyi State to further, strengthen the relationship with Bank of Industry in the growth of MSMEs in the state. And this, we believe, other than NGKS program, will lead to the growth of Ebonyi State economy. In the corresponding capacity, the state have a capacity, have ability to play our part. Definitely, the state belongs to us. The environment is understood better by us. I will believe that whatever the Bank of Industry needs in terms of providing necessary information, providing necessary guidance in the collaborative business. Ebonyi State is the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and by extension, the entire Ebonyi State government is ready to do their part to ensure that the main purpose of this program by the World Bank and the federal government is achieved.
you. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
With the signing ceremony over, the BOI project lead for NG Cares sheds more light on the program.
Today, the bank has an infrastructure that is able to onboard beneficiaries, verify their details, open accounts to them, and disburse to them directly using an automated platform. Once a state partners with us, the work becomes very easy for them. All they need to do is to nominate the people that they want us to work with. We will go there, onboard them, ensure that all their details are captured and that they are accurate, and then we'll now disburse to them. And because our entire process is automated, it's easy for all the stakeholders within the state to monitor the entire process end to end, as well as give reports to their stakeholders, as well as to the World Bank to get reimbursements.
This partnership is expected to change the narrative of communities and businesses affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in Ebonyi State. Away from the MoU signing, our team visited Dr. Fasonya's Framesware Concept, a consulting business involved in the production and distribution of specialized wares in Jos, the Plateau State capital. As an environmentalist, the quest for knowledge and finding solutions to financial constraints brought him in contact with the Bank of Industry, where he established a relationship that led to the bank's intervention at Framesware's Concept.
Came across the intervention called the Youth Entrepreneurship Support Program, ESP, of this current administration. So I applied, and somehow I was shortlisted, and we went for the interview, and we were taught about the process of how to apply, bringing in your proposals, and doing your documentation right. So I had to actually fully register my business as it is. Sure. So I registered it with a name called Framesware. I was able to secure the sum of 2.2 million naira, majorly for equipment purchase, and then part of it as working capital. So majorly 1.1 was for the purchase of equipment, and the remaining was for working capital. Basically, I was given 6 months moratorium period, and the duration for the loan is 3 years. And the interest rate is actually 9%. One of the key impacts is me getting access to acquire equipment. In this adventure, as I called it earlier, I discovered one key thing, that getting equipment and the right equipment is actually very, very important for success. We started, just like I said, as a company that produced only lab coats and theater outfits for doctors. Then when we actually x-ray the market, we noticed that, okay, there is actually a very wide market in Nigeria for uniforms, for other forms of wears like t-shirts, academic gowns, sportswears, and many others. So having access to the BOI loan helped me to acquire equipment which could actually assist us in producing t-shirts. So we started our t-shirt line. Then we also went into the production of academic gowns, into the production of uniforms, into the production of hoodies, jackets, just name it, any uniform is actually in our archive. Currently we are working towards the production of bags and other important utilities.
Following the bank's intervention, the business experienced some growth as they were able to acquire new machineries and hire more hands to meet customer demands. The business now attracts international attention after some medical personnel came in contact with the company's medical scrub produced for the University of Jos Teaching Hospital and was eventually exported to India.
My key advice would be that remain focused. Whatever you want to do, you must be focused, you must be disciplined, you must know what you want to achieve, and then try and study the market, as well as go through the right channels to get the important information. One of the key things I did was we're not the first set, so I had to meet some of our colleagues and ask them, okay, so how do you go about applying for the loan? So I was given guidance and then the things to avoid, the pitfalls. And then I was able to actually put in my proposal right. And then I approached the bank. And of course, I was given the opportunity to acquire the loan. I think the future of the fashion industry is a very huge gold mine that is left untapped. And I believe a lot of people are keen into it right now. It is an opportunity for young people to actually engage other people to creatively design and construct made in Nigeria garments and showcase it to the world. Okay, my vision, of course, is just like I mentioned earlier, to have at least our product in each household across the country and even beyond Africa and to the world. And we intend to do so through our consistency, through our unique products. So our major slogan is simply precision in style. That's our slogan for Frameswear, precision in style. This kind of adventure is not for the faint-hearted.
The vision of Frames is to meet the growing demand for special wares to relevant off-takers, and the Bank of Industry is no doubt helping to drive the vision. Also in this edition, we have the story of Godwin Omale, a graduate of Library and Information Science from the University of Jos. He ventured into the bakery business to solve the university environment's desire and yearning for hygienic and affordable bakery products. Take a look. Sunrise Bakery, located within the University of Jos campus, is a subsidiary of Oma Global Company that was established in 2018 to produce bakery products ranging from bread, donuts, meat pie, popcorn, and other confectionery for students, staff, and other residents within the University of Jos environment. Equipped with some background knowledge and skills acquired from his parents, Mr. Omale, a graduate of Library and Information Science from the University of Jos, ventured into the bakery business to meet the need for hygienic and affordable bakery products on the campus.
I studied Library and Information Science in the prestigious University of Jos. I finished in 2017 and I served in Ado-Ekiti. So upon completion of my NYSC, I returned back to Jos, then I started Sunrise Bakery. Even before I came to the university, I already know how to bake cake and other small shops and things like samosa and donuts before I even came to the university. Yes. Well, bakery business is a very interesting one. It's a business full of activity once you are dedicated and committed, because it works with a lot of timing. Actually, I used to tell people that baking is a science, because most of the things that we do is we measure them just as the same way scientists measure their this thing before they go into any formulation. Because bread that you have the same taste every day, you begin to wonder, why is it the same? Even if you cook at home, there is a day that something will happen. But that is why I always tell people that baking is a science, because we put into consideration a lot of measurements into place before we bake. And business-wise, when we started, we were doing very great. Even now, we are still doing well, but just the constant variation in inflation of prices of raw materials, is weighing down on many bakeries, not mine alone, because I'm not the only one.
He speaks on his contact with the Bank of Industry during his orientation camp at the National Youth Service Corps, when officials of the bank came for an advocacy visit. He seized the opportunity to apply for the intervention scheme under the food production sector, a decision that turned the fortune of his business around.
During my time, over 7,000 to 10,000 people applying, and BOI, through the application submitted, they were able to streamline the number to 1,000 all across Nigeria. And when we applied, they sent us message that they will be in touch. Then I think 2 weeks later, they sent us another message of our training, because BOI trained us on entrepreneurship for 4 days. It held in 6 locations all across Nigeria. So I was part of the Southwest cohort, and we gathered at the NYC orientation camp in Osun State. So even during our stay there, we spent 4 days. Our trainers came from Lagos. Mrs. Abimbola Osushuku was the lead trainer, and she trained us very well. And we're divided into 2 classes. In my own class A, I emerged the best participant for the whole of Southwest during my time. Then, after the training, we're now asked to send in our business plan for funding. Then BOI also encouraged us to also register our business with a Corporate Affairs Commission, which we did, and it took a while, but I think they are very committed people, because they take their time, they investigate everything from A to Z.
In addition to meeting the demands of the university population, Sunshine Bakery also extends its market to the people of Jos North and Jos South local government areas of Plateau State, with a vision to establishing bakeries across Nigerian higher institutions. Through the intervention of the bank, the business has enjoyed growth based on its capacity to meet the demands of its customers, with daily supplies of products to over 65 stores in Jos and Buruku metropolis, as well as compete favorably with others in the industry. The Bank of Industry over the years has continued to provide interventions for industries to thrive. Your business can also benefit from these interventions. All you have to do is visit any of their branches closest to you or log on to their website at boi.ng. You can also follow the Bank of Industry on all of its social media platforms as displayed on your screen. And that's it on this edition of BOI Weekly. I'm Kayode Alayande.